Hello YouTube, welcome back to the channel. Today we're here with my 4C. I've had it just over a year and we're going to give you an honest review on whether you should buy one. We're going to talk about running costs, how it drives, practicality and all things money as well. So stay tuned.
Thomas, whilst it's sat here, do you want to just talk us around the outside of it for a moment? By the way, who is that singing?
Oh, no. So we'll just give a quick overview of the car. It's a 2015 Alfa Romeo 4C. It's done now 23,000 miles, so I've done 9,000 miles in it.
Have you?
Yeah,
oh, that's more
in about a
nice.
year and just over a year and a half nearly. It is a 1.7 turbocharged DCT and it's great fun. Carbon tubbed, lightweight, 240 horsepower, good bit of kit.
Should we jump inside and go for a or drive and chat and
Let's
talk
go
through
for a drive and a chat. All right.
What's going on? Oh, and we caught that on camera. It's probably a good place to start, isn't it?
Yeah, these speed bumps are ridiculous.
We are in.
That one wasn't
it's
too
okay.
bad.
It's okay. Where are we? We're between Hackney and Bethnal Green, really, aren't we? Like
Yeah.
Cambridge Heath.
Number one thing, this car is a bit too low.
Yeah.
I think even compared to like an Exige, they've got more ground clearance.
Yeah, this is
It's a
low.
little bit too low.
Yeah, this is very low.
So you can't avoid the roads with the worst speed bumps.
So before we start the video, guys, firstly, don't forget to like and subscribe. And I'm asking for subscriptions because I think 98% of you aren't subscribed to our videos currently. So please hit that subscribe button.
So I had the car, what, a year and a bit.
Yeah.
About 9,000 miles nearly.
Yeah.
And it's been on a few adventures.
It has, yeah. Get in the comments also on this video. Let us know what Tomo shouldn't do with the 4C. And later on in the video we'll discuss his future plans and what he intends to do, but make sure you get in the comments and let us know what your guys' thoughts are. Should we paint a picture for the listeners, the viewers I should say? Why did you get a 4C to begin with?
Why did I get a 4C to begin with? So I've always liked them, but I had an M3 before and I thought, you know what, I don't need a car quite as practical because I don't use a car for day-to-day stuff.
Yep.
So I thought, why not get something a little bit more sporty, silly,
yep,
fun. So yeah, I just on a whim saw this and it was the spec I wanted. Saw it on Auto Trader and I was like, I've got to have that car. So yeah, here we are a year down the line, and to be honest with you, it's all very positive.
Good. Good.
I'm loving it. We've been to the Nürburgring in it. We've done an Isle of Man trip. I've done a few track days. So it's been driven pretty hard.
Yep.
I'd say the driving experience is fun.
Yeah.
If not a little bit compromised, but it's just such a fun car to drive, and it's always a bit of an event.
Well, we're driving through sort of central East London now, and there's one person looking there.
It gets a lot of attention.
Yeah, it gets a lot of attention. I will try and get some on camera, to be fair, but
I think it's probably out of, I don't know what you think, but like out of all the cars we've had, probably gets the most. But it's like quite positive. None of it's negative attention, if you know what I mean. Some cars draw negative attention, or people wanting to, you know, if you are a street, people wanting to have a race with you, and this is more like, oh cool, what's that?
Yeah.
Like Alex,
like that X3 just went past and he was having a proper gorp at it.
Yeah. A lot of people don't know what it is, which is quite cool. They always come up and ask questions. Oh, what is it? Is it a Lotus? Is it this? But
a Ferrari.
Most people haven't heard of an Alfa Romeo 4C.
No.
Like guys and girls that aren't into cars, but that's definitely a positive. It's a fun car. It's pretty nippy. Like a lot of people complain, well, when it first came out they were like, oh, it's automatic, it's turbocharged, but to be honest with you, I actually quite like both of them things.
It also, I mean, look, you live in a rather central city location.
It's quite nice not to have a clutch pedal.
Yeah,
I would like a manual, but
yeah, but for when you're doing like now,
yeah,
lovely, lovely. Obviously, you mentioned we've done a few road trips and stuff. What's your thoughts been like on this on track versus on the road?
It actually prefers a smooth track. What a lot of people complain about with these cars is they're quite twitchy and they follow the grooves in the road on like a traditional British like B road. But as soon as you get it on a smooth track, that kind of all goes away. A lot of people change the tyres. I've stuck with the Pirelli P0s that come on it, and actually I don't mind them. They're not awful. They're probably, you know, a PS4S probably would be a bit better of an all-rounder, but they weren't bad on track. They're not super sticky. But yeah, I think as a track car, it's a lot of fun. No power steer until you feel everything. It's a bit of a workout.
Get back in the gym, mate.
Yeah, I need to get back in the gym. But yeah, overall, it isn't quite. And for instance, like we've been in a lot of Lotuses, and it's not quite Lotus standard of control, but it's not too far off.
Whilst we're on the subject of Lotuses, I think the interior. Now, for me, I think it's a very slight step up from the Lotuses. Obviously, it's more modern-ish.
In some ways, yes. Some ways, no. If you look at the radio and you look at the, we'll do a video of this.
I'll get a video. What's really
like the blowers, these guys, the radio. That's not so nice.
No.
But then there are some quite nice little details. Obviously, you can see the exposed carbon fibre, which is really cool. That feels quite exotic.
Yeah, and I think touches like this.
Yeah, and then
that's like nice, and like the leather handle.
The seats are nice.
Seats are. I mean, you're just seeing my crotch there.
The seats look cool. So it's that slight step above an Exige, I would say. It's not anywhere near a Porsche or anything like that.
No.
I don't love the steering wheel, to be honest. I'm not really a flat bottom fan, particularly. But it's a bit of an ugly steering wheel. It's okay though. It's okay.
It's a small size. It's good, but just the actual look of it's pretty.
Poop. Yeah. Why don't we touch on like costs and what it's like in terms of reliability and things like that. So, in all honesty, it's actually really quite good, which is surprising for Alfa Romeo, I know. But touch wood, nothing has gone wrong on this car for me, other than the battery. But that's, you know, the batteries need replacing eventually anyway. It was on its original battery. And like things like service costs, they're not too dissimilar to like what an Alfa Romeo Giulietta would be. I
mean, if you look at it from a broader perspective, it's a 1.7.
Yeah, it's
turbocharged 4-cylinder. It's not a V8 or something like that.
It's not highly, you know.
It's not a heavy car either. So it doesn't wear on its parts as much. It's hard.
Exactly. I mean, servicing. I think my last service was 500 quid. That was like a minor one though. Yeah. I think they can go up to about £1,000. Or slightly over, because you have to do the timing belt every 5 years, something like that, and also they have to do every second service, I believe they do a bolt tightening service.
Okay.
And I don't know how needed it is, but they go around and check all the fastenings. Around.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so I would say £500 for a minor, £800 for maybe the one that does the tightening, and then like £1,100 maybe for the big do everything service. So it's not awful, and like miles per gallon, if you drive it sensibly, it's pretty good. If you drive it hard, it obviously drinks fuel.
It's terrible.
But like for motorway driving, it's pretty good.
But again, it's a 1.7 4-cylinder, isn't it? It's got it's got a fairly sizable turbo strap to it. But
I would say one of the negatives on the motorway, if you're doing anything between 70 and 85. It's got a drone, really loud. This has got the racing exhaust, and it's hard to hear yourself think when you're on motorway speed, so that definitely is a negative. It sounds pretty good for a 4-cylinder. I think the turbo noises and stuff add to the drama.
It sounds more like a baby rally car, doesn't it?
It's not obviously like, it doesn't sing, but it's quite a cool tone for a 4-cylinder, which I quite like. Purchase price and what they're worth now, I don't think they've I think it's worth the same as what I paid over a year ago.
Okay.
And if you look at like historical prices, at one point they were as low as the low 30s. You can't really get one for under 40k now. You probably could get like a shagged one, but like a normal example, they're definitely over 40. So it hasn't depreciated, which is good. Insurance is cheap for me. I think I pay like 600 quid a year, and I live in Hackney, so
that's not bad. I didn't realise it was that cheap. Tax
is cheap.
It's very busy around here, by the way.
It's because the festivals are. Yeah, it's all points east. It's rammed. So we're.
Yeah, why have we just come this way?
I'm going to try and get out to the 812 or something.
There's a lot. I'll get this. There's a lot of people just milling around today. There's a lot of people knocking around today.
Yeah, look, they're all walking from mile end.
Yeah. Jesus.
We've talked a lot about some positives. There are some more negatives.
Can I be the first one to say negative, please?
Go on, getting in and out.
Well, yeah, for me and my bad back, that's a big negative. But currently, I'm sweating my arsehole off in here.
Yeah, I mean that's my fault though, because I haven't had the aircon.
Okay, right, fine.
Fixed,
okay,
yeah,
fine.
They do come with aircon. No, let's not worry about that.
Okay.
That's my bad. The other negatives are things like luggage space.
Yeah, well, I've got my backpack in your boot at the moment, and it's full.
Yep. And my girlfriend doesn't pack light, let's put it that way. So she is not a fan of this car, because quite often she'll be sat with a holdall on her lap. So that's a negative. But I mean, it's part and parcel with the type of car, isn't it? I can't expect a big boot in a car like this. It's quite comfortable actually. It's not that bad. It's a little bit stiff, obviously, but the seats aren't awful.
No, the seats aren't.
It's not a Range Rover, but
no, I'd honestly, again, I think this is more me than it is the car. But if I was to sit here like this, my back would last probably 5 minutes before I'd have to shift around. It's very much, it puts you in a good driving position.
Yeah, driving.
But if you look,
good.
I'm 6'2", you're 6'1". My roof is, if I sit up, look.
Yeah, it's not.
Head's on the roof. Oh, I can't actually see out the window there. No, but you make it work, don't you? You make it work.
But yeah, it's just an event when you get in it. It's exciting just to drive anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't know if the camera can see, but the amount of people that are looking at this driving around here is.
It's like a mini exotic kind of car, isn't it? For the price point, it feels more exotic maybe than it is. Right,
Thomas, as we're driving through.
Bow now, aren't we?
Bow
E3.
Bow E3. What's your plans? Because
I've had it. So when did I buy it? March last year, maybe. So it's getting on for. Is that nearly a year and a half actually?
It is, yeah. It is. It'll soon be 2 years if you're not careful.
And I usually keep my cars a couple of years. So potentially next year would usually be when I'd be thinking about replacing it. But I do really quite like it. So you can. It's one of them ones where you can make this car better. Yeah. Better on track.
So, if there's anybody who's experienced about modding these, please get in the comments below. Yeah. Let us know what's good and what's not good to do.
Yeah. Because I think most people would say get some Cup 2s on it or something like that. That'll be the first port call.
Your tyres are not the one on the track, to be fair.
To be honest with you, the stock brakes are actually quite. I mean, they're not stocking a lot of weight, but they're surprisingly good for stock. Yeah. Stock brakes.
Just a light car again. It's
a light car. Brake pedal feels really good. So I would, if I were to keep it and I was to do more track days, I think I would start doing some little bits to it. Maybe. Twiddly? Yeah, maybe a remap.
Oh.
I mean, it's relatively nippy, but it's not super fast. It's good. It's speedy out of the low speed stuff, but as soon as you get going, you know, a little bit faster, over 70, 80, it loses puff a little bit. Yeah. So maybe a remap would help with that, and it's relatively cost effective.
One thing I will say, one thing you did have done is the alignment, didn't you?
Yeah.
And when I was behind you on track, the way the car like sits into its alignment's really impressive now. Like the back's like that.
Camber, like a bit of camber at the rear, it looks like. But yeah, so it's got the suspension blocks from Alfa Works, which are pretty much a must-have to stop this tram lining. And yeah, it's had a proper alignment from Alfa Works recently as well. Yeah. So
that's one thing you have done, and it has worked wonders, I think, as well. Oh. Nearly seeing a little RTC road traffic collision. But if you were theoretically speaking, if you don't mod this, what are your other options? Because you are a man that spends as much time on Auto Trader as I do. So
I'm prone to the
it's the little doglet.
Hours on Auto Trader.
Where's the little doggy? I'll be on video. Hello.
Hello, buddy.
Hello.
Yeah, I mean, it depends whether I stick with the unpractical sports car route or if I get something a little bit more practical. My heart is saying
unpractical.
I'd feel a bit bored if I got. Yeah, so like I do like the look of the Exige V6, it's S3
Yeah, S3, yeah.
which is similar kind of size, I guess, to this car. Similar kind of practicality, but just more performance.
Yeah, that big V6.
V6 manual,
supercharged again.
So, or do I want to try a different genre of car potentially? I do like Porsche GT4s. You're not a massive fan, but
I don't know. I don't mind a GT4. I just think there's more interesting cars, to be fair. But I do like a GT4. I appreciate what they do. If there's anybody who's had a 4C and has moved to something else as well, how did you survive the change?
Yeah, I've also TBRs. They're quite cool.
Oh,
but again, not so. I think that would be probably a silly move because they're probably not as reliable.
They're not. There's not many that are ULEZ either, are there?
Yeah, you'd have to get a late T350.
Or Cigaris.
Cigaris too expensive. But yeah, I'm okay with it at the minute. I do. It's fun, especially now Ed's got his Exige, S2 Exige. It feels like they're similar kind of performance, and it's quite fun. Like we did Run Touch together, and that was nice.
That was good, yeah.
Yeah.
That was good fun. Is there anything you want to say to the community?
The 4C community.
4C community. Any questions you want to answer him?
I guess, yeah, like you mentioned earlier, track work. What would the first things be that you would do?
Yeah.
And yeah, it'd be good to hear from people who track their 4C or just daily their 4C, their opinions, and if they agree with me.
Yeah.
What would they change? What do they like? What do they not like?
Yeah. Thank you for watching, guys. Make sure to subscribe again. I know I begged for it at the start, but I'm begging for it at the end as well. Help Tomo out, get in the comments. And make sure you stay tuned for more videos. Muchas gracias. Au revoir. Say bye.
Bye.